Trump held an event, despite everything going on about college sports and like, hey, how are we going? It's a significant issue, the whole NIL, but what's the pay for players and how do you make sure they have proper power? And then how do you manage the transferring and the restrictions and the colleges need to do this or that? But do any of us need a press conference on college sports right now in the middle of a war? Do we really need that? And that's what Trump did. And then he was so irritated when people would bring up, or reporters would bring up, any other topic like, hey, we learned that Russia is reportedly assisting Iran in finding U.S. targets to strike. Look at this.
Thank you, President Trump. It sounds like the Russians are helping Iran target and attack Americans now.
That's an easy problem compared to what we're doing here. But can I be honest? It's just, I have a lot of respect for you. You've always been very nice to me. What a stupid question that is to be asking at this time. We're talking about something else. Can we keep this maybe a little bit? Go ahead, please.
Can we please?
What a stupid question.
Can we keep this a little bit? Well, I mean, at some point in a time like this, when there is college sports to be discussed, which Trump knows so much about, so much so that when he did an interview on college sports, his first answer to a question about college sports, football, was about NFL. Okay. But can we keep this to please?
Go ahead, please.
Let's keep it a little. All right, and then you have this.
Peter, I'll give you one more chance because that was a bad question you asked before. Go ahead.
We've already got a lot of sound bites
leave him in the
about the
like
sports. Can I ask one off topic?
On topic.
On topic. Okay.
Which is unusual for you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Just the quickest pause for the video amid all of this chaos. If you do appreciate these updates, please click the subscribe button, click the like button. Both of those are completely free, but subscribe is the most important to support what we do. Back to the video.
What is motivating you to do this right now? Because there is a lot of other stuff going on in the world.
Right. That's right. There's a lot. We're doing by the way, in Iran, we're doing very well. Somebody said, how would you score it from 0 to 10? I said I'd give it a 12 to a 15. Their army is gone. They're just about.
Does that rating include still no explanation of what the end goal is? Does that rating include that apparently what we've accomplished thus far is getting Khamenei, who was a horrible, horrible leader, to be replaced by Khamenei? Did you hear this? His son. Does that include the American, now up to 7 American heroes who are dead? Does that include the school of children that was killed, dozens of school children? Does that rating include all of those things that was an aftermath of, I guess, an accidental strike on a school by joint U.S.-Israeli strikes? Then Ducey reflected on this on Fox News.
And he took a couple questions. I asked him about this report that the Russians are, and you'll excuse me, I just ran out here. I asked him about this report that the Russians are helping the Iranians target Americans. And the president, who wanted to stay on topic, said he thought that was a stupid question. Brett?
Nice job.
Okay, so what was that for? What was that analysis for? We now go to Peter Ducey, who's going to explain to us what happened, and you just repeat. Yeah, we saw the clip, Peter. You want to give some thoughts? Like, hey, I don't think as a journalist that was a stupid question. Like, hey, anytime we have a chance to ask Trump about the ongoing war right now, that's the most important thing. We're going to ask him about it, even if he wants to talk about college sports and how much Nick Saban has won national championships. Hey, I would have liked to ask a follow-up question about why on earth would you be easing sanctions on Russia as they're assisting in getting Americans killed? Bessent?
To ease the temporary gap of oil around the world, We have given them permission to accept the Russian oil. We may unsanction other Russian oil. You know, the
Wait, this is serious, but Besant is so sleepy and boring that Larry Kudlow is getting bored. Guys, Larry Kudlow is bored. Go to your dictionary. Find the word bored. Boring. You're just going to see a photo of Larry Kudlow. And Larry Kudlow's like, dude, pick up the pace. Watch him. Watch Kudlow sort of, thank you, Cole. Sort of shake his shoulders like, hey, all right, move forward, brother.
given them permission to accept the Russian oil. We may unsanction other Russian oil. You know, the other thing Treasury can do here, Larry, is there are hundreds of millions of sanctioned barrels of sanctioned crude on the water, and in essence, by unsanctioning them, Treasury can create supply. And you know, we are looking at that. We're going to keep.
Yikes. So, because of a war they decided to engage in, we're seeing oil prices skyrocket, thus gas prices. So then they're talking about easing sanctions on Russian oil to help address that, which would just fuel Russia's war machine. So then we're talking about more resources for more death and destruction when they're acting like this is how we position ourselves geopolitically better. This is how we stabilize the world and prevent mass death. But somehow, even something that intriguing, because of the consequences, somehow Besant finds a way to say it in the most sleepy way possible, where Larry Kudlow's eyes are barely open, which I know what you're thinking is not always the case, but they seemed even more closed than before. The two of them just hanging out. This is good coffee. It is. Did you see that Donna Kelsey's house is being renovated? It feels good to laugh, Larry. Okay, so then once again, when Trump's talking about college football, do not ask him about something that's obviously so much more important.
Now you're into a brand new system. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mr. President. Thank you. Could you tell us what went into your decision to replace Secretary Noem with Senator Markwayne Mullin?
Is it possible to stay on this subject just for once? You know, just for once. Boy, oh boy. Anybody have any questions on this subject?
All right, so he's saying, let's stay on the subject, right? Let's stay on the subject. It's very clear what we're talking about. It's very clear what Trump's advocating for. He has a deep understanding of college sports. He understands the problems. He wants to address them in a way that isn't just beneficial to the people at the very top making money off of these athletes, but also that still allows the athletes to advocate for themselves and make money based on their name and likeness. He understands it all. Like, hey, here's a clip of him explaining what he's going to do in the aftermath of studying this subject. See if you can follow.
All right, so I think he qualifies, right? But I'd like to sit down with some of the very talented people in this room, and we'll pick them out. If you'd like to volunteer. And I'd like to sign an executive order that I'll write myself based on common sense. And it'll be something that people will be sort of happy about. Some will be sort of happy. Others will be sort of happy. And maybe that's a good thing. There'll be a few people that won't like anything, but I'd like to write an executive order based on some of the very great talent in this room. And we will be sued, and we'll go before a court. And maybe we'll have a judge that's realistic, reasonable, and wants to do a favor for the country, because that's the only way this is going to be solved. So I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to write an executive order based on many of the statements made today, many of the statements I've been hearing over the last year about what a disaster this is for colleges, for the players, for the families, ruining everything. And we're going to do a very well thought out executive order.
Okay, so you know what this reminds me of? It's this. Whenever a YouTube video, and it says, quadruple your YouTube views with this one secret. And you click on it and it's like, hey, what's up? I'm Increase Your Views, Louie. And today I'm going to explain to you with one simple algorithmic change how you can quadruple your YouTube views. Again, my name is Increase Your Views, Louie. This channel is all about making sure you can increase your views. Before we get to that, I do want to read a quick message from our sponsor. In these scary times, you might die. We might all die. So make sure that you have your prepared kit by going to getyourpreparedkit.com/Louie. Now, let's talk about the one secret that, based on the new change to the YouTube algorithm, that will increase your views by 4 times. Quadruple. Quad. 4. Quad. 4 quarters. Football is 4 quarters. When you're playing a football game, you think about the fourth quarter while you're in the first quarter. And that's what we're going to talk about here. Because what are we talking about? We're talking, and you're like, when is it going to get to the thing? Tell me the secret. And then you really realize the secret, this is kind of a meta point. The secret is to keep people watching, which they're doing. And they demonstrate the point. The scam is the secret. Very much Trump's energy here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign an executive order, okay? This is what I'm going to do. And it's going to make people sort of happy. But one group's going to be sort of happy. The other group's going to be sort of happy. And what we're going to do is executive order. It's going to be common sense. It's going to address, because this is a big problem. And what I'm going to do is sign an executive order, and you're going to see the executive order. And in the executive order, there's going to be executive orders.
A lot of you are going to be involved in that. All of you, anybody that would like to, just let me know.
On what?
And that'll be placed before the courts, and hopefully a judge who's a real judge, a compassionate judge, and a judge with common sense will get it approved. And maybe it won't, and maybe it won't hold up. Maybe they'll say you can't.
Yeah, so he still hasn't described what it is that will be laid out in this executive order, but he's stalling. He knows every time he throws it to reporters, they're going to ask him real questions about real issues. Not that college sports is a real issue. In the lives of those people, it's a really big issue, and that should be addressed in that world. In his world, I think at this time he has higher priorities and he doesn't want to be asked about those, so he's just stalling. He's just saying a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Jon Favreau says dead Americans, $100 barrel oil, billions of dollars a day on a massive war that's so far replaced an 86-year-old tyrant who's gonna be dead soon anyways with his son. Khomeini replaced with Khomeini. Okay? Which Khomeini replaced Khomeini. So it's all just Khomeini. It's coming up Khomeini. Okay, doesn't seem like the biggest accomplishment ever. Ron Phillips Kelly said a year ago we were supposed to be getting $2,000 rebate checks. Doge was going to find $2 trillion in waste to balance the budget. We were going to pay no income taxes because tariffs would pay for everything. Gas and home electricity bills would be cut in half, and no new wars. Do you remember that's what they stole? Do you remember whenever they came out during the inauguration, said everything, the golden age of America, no more of these regime change wars. Money's going to be coming out of our ears. We're going to be coming through winning. We're going to be coming through money, and we're going to be coming through victory. And you're going to be winning so much. You're going to say, Mr. Trump, please stop winning. Please, we're winning too much.
Times. Everybody's coming.
That was the message. What do we have now? As you heard, New York Times, oil prices surged above $100 a barrel for the first time in almost 4 years amid growing concerns about supplies as the war in the Middle East continues. That's immediately impacting gas prices here in the U.S. Do you see this line? Boing, boing. So do you remember when gas prices went up because of a bunch of macroeconomic reasons and pandemic aftermath, and was obviously not Biden clicking the prices up button, but he got all of the blame, and you had those stickers. I did that. And then now it's actually because of Trump's decision directly. But you're not going to hear that on Fox. Shh, you're not gonna hear that.